welcome to the blind spot. Here, our lovely post-match bar. How'd you guys enjoy the giant upset of Chaos 2-0 over Gen G?
I mean, with some of the news we've had today, I feel like I am permanently in the blind spot at Flashpoint.
Not bad.
Give me a break. Can I get some info? Who's playing? Is anyone in the league still?
Well, at least we have a Team Chaos in the grand finals of their group now, without Smooya, so that's a thing that's happened. Voltage showed up at least.
Huya?
Yes, Huya.
Huya? They don't need him, man. They lost all 4 pistols in this series and still won. Against Genji, who we had as favorites potentially for the entire tournament. Where was Genji at? What happened?
That was one of the ugliest showings I've seen out of a team in quite some time. And I know it's not going to be perfect every time out. I know there's some things to work on, but like, this is just like head-scratching stuff from Genji. That round on Mirage, I almost just like literally walked away from the casting when they just weren't even protecting the plant from Catwalk. It made no sense. It's just basic fundamentals. You can't just plant in the open when there's still 4 players alive on the other team.
How much did you like
All I'm going to say is Kusa's in that team. Kusa's in Gen G.
Oh my.
Leave the man alone.
You know, has he not had enough problems?
All I'm gonna say about Gen G as an org is that historically in other games, as soon as they acquire rosters, it tends to just go downhill from there.
That doesn't bode well.
Oh, that's not what we want to hear. That's not.
I just feel like Kuster is this kid that Jason's been sort of like, you know, trying to adopt for a long time, but every time he seems like, I can't stand to be around you. I'm not going to do it anyway.
Wow, why did it all of a sudden turn into my fault?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
It's always your fault.
It's your project, isn't he? Now.
Duncan hates you so much, he just has to hate Kusta.
Yeah, say one nice thing about a guy one time 4 years ago, and it follows you forever.
You also vouch for Nickel and I Since your judgment's not that great. That's all.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Poor Jason.
All right, well, enough focusing on Gen G's rather disappointing performance.
No, let's do it more.
Okay, well, what else do you want to say about Gen G that's negative, Anders?
Just they should have. I mean, look at the firepower. Where's automatic? Where have they all gone? Like even in an odd round, you just wanted to pick up like a double kill and win a round. Just even from pure chance, that should happen at some point. It was. I'm real disappointed.
I feel like Chaos should have won this game even more than what they did. Remember that round that Cam flanked upper B with the P250?
Yeah.
And Ventet was in connector? They would have ended the first half 9-6. Instead, they ended 8-7, I think, or yeah, in the opposite direction, maybe. It was just, honestly,
ridiculous.
This was a horrible performance.
Didn't Automatic bottom frag both maps as well? I'm pretty sure on the first map he was bad as well.
He has been struggling a little bit since he's hopped back onto that op. A little bit. I think it was indecisiveness versus decisiveness. I mean, Steel and Chaos, they seem to be just balls deep going into these bomb sites, whereas Gen G, anytime they had any sort of forward position, they just all paused. They all paused and waited for this defaults to play out.
I'm just confused thematically. Why do you say dang instead of damn, but you say balls deep?
What's the line?
Oh, where on earth is the line? That's all I need to know.
I know exactly why.
I'm a product of the internet, you know? My vocabulary, I'm working on it.
So literal potential mild curse words, no. Sexual innuendo, 100%.
Absolutely, 100%.
I know exactly why.
100%, yeah.
I'll tell you why this is
Crack the
happening.
code.
It's because for those of us who spend any time with Christine outside of the broadcast, we just know that she's just trying not to like pull that little brick in the dam that'll bring it all down. Like she's just trying to hold back, you know.
Right.
Her nickname
Exactly
is
it.
Potter.
That's exactly it.
Think about it.
Okay.
It's all right. I think to enable her, what we should be doing is creating a mean Christine segment where she can let out all of her inner rage against teams. So
My
that
true
she,
self?
Her
Well-
true self, momentarily. We'll disguise it as a character, and nobody out here has to
Voice
know.
changer
okay?
as well. They'll never know it's you.
All right. Well, here's how things ended up in our Snakes and Ratters group. Chaos, home of the Rat King, who has now temporarily departed, is now in our grand final. So they are guaranteed a first or second position in this group.
And the snake just got reamed out, didn't he?
And they were selected into this group by MIBR, ostensibly because MIBR thought they would be an easy opponent, and now they're our first team.
And then
through to the
remember,
finals.
they were also a team who basically got in just by virtue of happenstance. They didn't qualify. They were a team who basically got another chance, the Chaos team, because they were invited because we don't have 10 founders.
How great would it be if MIBR beat,
Why'd you whisper
beat
that?
Gen G
Yeah,
and then
I
have
didn't
to
want to say it
face
very loud.
them in the finals, Chaos, and
soft
then get
spot.
knocked out by them? That would be
I think
unlucky.
Anders is writing this script. Snakes in the group name. A snake has now advanced to the finals of it.
Who would've
Can't even
thought?
make this stuff up.
Well, they said Snakes and Ratters, and the Rat King is on the team with the Snake logo. So are they the only team with the combination of Snake and Rat?
FPX has a snake because Esatag shed his skin on the Astralis skin.
Like it was gonna go
Listen, I was always going
Wrong group,
Yeah,
but yes.
I thought he was going to go at him.
crowbar.
There's a snake in every group
Listen,
now.
I take pride in one of the best quotes about my career was Jason Moore O'Toole said that I have a better crowbar than Gordon Freeman.
He does. Ask him about his Pelican
good,
joke.
actually.
Ask him about the
That's a
Pelican
good-
joke. It's not bad.
Gotta get that joke in somehow.
I'll force it in.
Okay, so now that we've seen all the teams play in this group again, and we did see MIBR successfully dumpster Envy after Envy played a close match against Gen G. We now have to ask the question, who is favored, MIBR or Gen G?
I've never heard
This
of this
point, I'm
MIBR
pulling
in
for
my
Gen
life.
G,
Have
yeah.
you guys heard of MIBR?
MIBR.
Who's MIBR?
Bad EPL team, man.
Jesus Christ. G.
Oh no.
I think the premise of this show has unlocked things that we couldn't anticipate.
Right away from
Exciting.
us.
What was actually the question before? The question was like, who is worse out of Gen G and MIBR?
Who would be
that was
favored
the
in that
question.
matchup?
At this point,
Who would be favored to lose? Let's put it that way.
probably MIBR, just being realistic.
Yeah,
Jokes aside.
you would have to, I think, say that MIBR would lose that. But I mean, if this is the Gen G that shows up, I actually thought, oddly enough, as funny as it's going to sound, that MIBR team looked better in the one online series that I watched them play just yesterday than they have
Yeah.
in like the past year of
Sure,
LAN
they did
play.
actually.
So I mean, you put MIBR online against Gen G online, that's going to be MIBR all day.
Gen G was popping
that
off.
up,
I think he was. Didn't he carry both maps?
Don't
Yes, yes, he did.
Duncan's
You
not
guys
Yes,
don't
he
watch
did.
these games.
I didn't. Again, I didn't know you were
Duncan
asking
just
me.
said something nice about KNG. Let's all just
Yeah.
we were all taking it in right there, Duncan.
Letting the moment, without letting it just hang there.
Yeah, we're letting it-
The next nice thing
Red.
he's gonna say is about Kusa, isn't it?
Go ahead,
Ooh.
Duncan. Follow it up.
Everyone's calling out Jason.
Turn a new leaf. He has nothing to say.
Can we say something nice about Steel? I thought it was kind of cool to see him. Like we saw about the level of focus in some of the fights that he was going for, and just without bringing up anything specific, he's had a career that maybe could leave him in a position where maybe he would, he have a reason to maybe be less motivated and maybe feel like the world was kind of going against him, and he's playing like someone who's just like totally in the game and still loving it and super hyper focused. I think that's amazing to see.
He had
So,
some nutty
shout out to
entries
Steel.
too. He was like running in the B bomb side on Inferno, just double quick
Yeah.
entering,
Yeah.
coming out
Great.
of App or Palace on Mirage with the D, killing Daps at Sandwich. There's just so many key entries he had in that series.
I think Thorin said it perfectly in the pregame. He said Steel has always worked well with scraps, and let's see what he's going to actually do in this series. And it's so true. Steel's always got the leftovers, and somehow, some way, he figures out a way to how to use them best.
Hell, at one point the American scene were only leftovers, so that was all you could.
He's talking shit now. That's cool, you use it.
That's fine. Let him have his moment.
Know all about leftovers, right, Anders?
No comment.
About it, their careers.
I know how this works. No comment.
Just saying. Take whatever you can get, right?
So now,
Where's Vince?
Anyway, though, that is something you can tie in, though. That is bearing in mind they're already top 2 Chaos. Like, they could obviously come number 1 and get all the points. They've got a solid chance of making the playoffs now. Bear in mind, they weren't even a team who qualified to the tournament.
Yes.
This will be legendary if they make it without Smooya as well. Like, this
Oh, yeah.
line of players, nobody would have picked them to
Yeah, it's
make
sick
the
because
playoffs here.
they secured the top 2, obviously, and all they wanted was to get points probably without their full lineup. So I think what they did today was a huge win for this entire phase.
I mean, and shout out to Smooya for committing so hardly to the rat, like deeply to the rat role that he just literally jumped ship before. That's next level. He's just out.
he was
he was
wrong.
given his
You jump. The rats get off the ship when it's sinking, but apparently the ship is just powering ahead full steam, right? There's
It's more
nothing
like he
sinking
was
about
given
this.
his marching orders on the plank. And he had to get off. Now he's just in the ocean somewhere. We all know rats can't swim.
Have we heard from him since, actually?
Who gives a fuck about him? Whatever. Well, if he comes back to the league, I'll like him. But for now, he's gone. He's dead to me.
Who are we talking about?
Kuya.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
All right. We do have an audio interview. Now, we can't have players in the Flashpoint studio right now, but Steel from Chaos is going to join us to hopefully talk about his
Are we
win.
going to hear it, though? We don't have a speaker.
That's a good point. Only I can hear it. That's the key.
The technical problems you're trying to solve on the fly at Flashpoint. Shout really loud.
Hey, Steel, you there?
Yes, what's up?
Oh, we can hear him.
Oh, we can hear it in the studio. Technical
Hey.
wizardry.
That Smoothie is really overrated, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
So tell us first off why you picked Voltage to be your stand-in.
We were looking for another opper, and MC, our coach, he has a long history with Voltage and really has high praise for him. Said that he's really mature, hardworking, can stand in. He's eager to do this, but also that he's like, he knows how to play and he can make his own decisions. He'll not need to kind of be told what to do, and I think that's very valuable. So I think it's good that he's able to get kind of another spotlight on him as a younger player.
I noticed on Inferno he was making a lot of aggressions, particularly towards apps. Was that him determining that, or you?
Yeah, a lot of it was him. So basically, we didn't have much time to talk about things before the game. We did have an Inferno scrim yesterday, but essentially I just told him, like, you're the opper and you're playing this area, so I will fill for you. If you are going hulls or you are going lane, I will pick up your arch side. I will do this. If you're going for hulls, like, I'll make sure that you can't get flanked. And basically, we will play off of you. If you want to go hulls, you want to go lane, we will back you up, and that's on you how to decide things. So for the most part, it was his decisions.
Steel, do you prefer as an in-game leader to have a strong secondary voice like a Smooya? Did you miss him today in this series, or did you find that you had a lot more control in this series without that secondary voice?
Absolutely not. I love having the only voice in it.
I have a question. Do you have any kind of regret just making Vanity take Arch alone for the whole T half on Inferno? Doesn't seem unreasonable. Just have one guy do the hardest job on his own with no backup.
So for a lot of things like arch side middle, a lot of teams have to respect it and give it up if they want to cheat to B. A lot of people like to favor towards lane side, especially like Tim with his op. He likes to favor towards lane side, maybe even hulls. So arch is kind of open, and for Vanity, I can tell him something, but he's gonna do what he wants. So if he sees an opening, he's gonna keep going there until he gets punished hard enough, I think. So it wasn't that I told him to go there. It's just that as the kind of extremity player, it's his job to know where he can kind of open a hole in the opponents and kind of abuse that. And I think he was getting away with it for a really long time, except towards the end of the game, I remember him saying I can't go. I just went arch 4 times in a row. I can't keep going there. But we did favor Beal up because it seemed like they only had their primary setup, and once we started doing the full exec, which broke that, they started playing CT spawn, coffins, or there's around the guys where they buy guns.
That's a long explanation for someone who didn't feel bad at all, man.
Sorry.
Hey, Josh, can I have time? Do we have time? Yeah, cool. Hey,
Yeah,
hey
what's
man,
up? What's
big
up?
fan here.
Hey, dude.
I just wanted to ask.
Long time listener, first time caller. Thank you, Jason.
I just wanted to ask because when we were casting it, we felt like Genji was playing like shit. We were wondering if you kind of noticed the same thing, that this isn't the Genji that you would normally see on any random day.
I think the style that they play, which is very loose, it demands them to play individually well and hit their shots. And it definitely didn't feel like they were able to do that a lot. They missed opening kills a lot, and they could have really punished us. I feel like we had a lot. It was 16-12, 16-11. We lost both pistols, and I feel like we had to double eco at least one time on both maps, if not twice on Mirage. Or one of the maps, I think we had to double eco twice. So they had a lot of rounds to work with. And that means that they just weren't hitting shots in their gun rounds.
Were you surprised to win this?
No, their map pool, it's not really good for a team like us right now. If we're playing with a stand-in, you would think oh, we have an overpass, a train, a nuke, something up our sleeves where if you don't have set plays, you're kind of screwed. And then it's Inferno Mirage first 2 maps, hello? We don't even need strats.
Do you think that was Genji not reading the veto process very well?
I'm not sure. I think this is Inferno's normally the map that they pick first. So I don't think that they were trying to think about what will they be good at. I think they were just playing to their strengths, and they said to themselves, like, Inferno's our best map, we should win it no matter.
So I have a question for you. You came into Flashpoint, you thought you weren't even going to be qualifying. You end up in Flashpoint 1, right? And then you go through your first week, you get this big upset, and then you lose Smooya, who's doing great in the server. So you've hit all these roadblocks. How do you deal with that week to week? Like, how are you adjusting? How is your team mentality these days, considering now you're challenging for first place in your group?
I think I've been playing CS long enough that losing players and having to pick up stand-ins, it doesn't really affect me anymore. It's been way too many fucking years doing it. So that doesn't really affect me. As far as affecting other people, I mean, we've got 2 stand-ins right now, so it's not going to really affect them as much either. So maybe it affects maybe Cam. I don't even think it... You know what? I don't even think it affects anyone, just because like we're so used to just having different rosters at this point that it doesn't really affect us that much.
So do you think you're the best team in Flashpoint right now? How have your scrims been going since you've been in LA?
I don't know. I think we've been playing everyone pretty close. I don't think we've been blown out in a really long time. But
tell us who the worst team
for
is in
scrim
Flashpoint.
results, I don't know. Like I don't
really
play scrims normally to win, so it's hard to gauge where we are as a scrim team. Like right now, we're playing to win the scrims because obviously, like we don't have time to fix things. We just need to play to win in practice. But normally I don't play to win scrim, so I'm not sure. I can't really answer that.
So as Sean asked, who's the worst team in Flashpoint?
Hint, they're in this group.
Are there ties?
Just, throw shade at everyone. Do it the NA way. Fuck it. You just beat Kusta. He was on your team. Throw shade at him too.
He removed me from... I'm not on his team favorite, so... Fuck you.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you. Thank you, Steel.
There we go.
I can't believe I'm not on his team favorites.
The NA special. Let's go.
That's crazy.
Anyone else have any further questions for Mr. Steele while he's on?
I just think it's funny that if Big had actually come to the tournament, because obviously they won the qualifier, it would have then transitioned to online play, and they have Xantares, the most online human being since the virtual representation of Neo in the Matrix movies. But they didn't, so fuck them. Karma. Everyone German, get out.
And now a question for Steele.
Thank you for your contribution.
It's the segment. So, listen, I didn't know it was a question for Steele. I was just giving my thoughts. So do you have any thoughts on that, Steele?
I think that's accurate.
We've lost him. He's cut off.
Unlucky.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Steele. Congrats on the win, and good luck in the finals in this group. Snakes and Ratters. Guys have already pulled off a couple of impressive upsets, and we'll see you play in the next few days.
I think he's gone. I heard that.
All right.
Wait, what did you hear? Do that sound again?
All right. Very good. We're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be back with more in just a couple.
Autofull, gaming chairs for pro teams.
Let's take a look at tomorrow's schedule. Sunday here on Flashpoint, it will be Orglis, who many of you have said is the worst team in Flashpoint, versus Fun plus Phoenix, who may or may not. Might also be Orglis. Who knows? Who knows what's going on there?
That's that Spider-Man meme where he's just pointing to Spider-Man's pointing at each other. That's just Desitag pointing at Orglis like, we don't have a team.
But I think what we should talk about, as opposed to who is Orglis and who isn't, is Havu versus Contact. Because many of you, as you bounce around from which is the best team, basically what you do is you see every team play, and then you're disappointed by all of them, but you have yet to be disappointed by Contact, so now you say Contact is the best team.
Yeah.
So Havu pulled off the big upset, right? And now they're going to be facing Contact. Let's talk about Contact. How good are they?
Contact's going to bang them out. They have the better players. Esperanto is going to go ham tomorrow. Otto is going to go ham.
Isn't their coach playing?
He's not the coach anymore, man.
Okay, isn't their former coach now a player?
Yes, that's
Former
Emmy.
coach.
He's the in-game
My
leader.
apologies.
But he's been back in the
disrespectful.
scene, back competing for a while now, Jason.
Yeah, joke's on
He's
you,
in it,
Jason.
yeah.
You didn't follow all those DreamHack Opens. Now you're literally doing a DreamHack Open for a month and a half. So bad news for you. Like, you got to get your level up.
It's okay.
So I asked you,
around.
so before every team has played, before Gen G played, I asked, who's the best team? You guys are like, Gen G. Then before FPX played, you saw Gen G be on the rocks versus Envious. Then you see FPX play, you're like, ooh, I don't know about that FPX team. And then now I'm asking you, okay, you saw one win by Contact, and now everybody's on board with Contact being the best team in this league.
I gotta say, they did have a disappointing first map, that nuke. They almost lost that. It was, I believe, it went into either OT or 16-13, and there was a lot of missed shots coming out of the Superstar and Ships and Esperanto. And although at the end of it, they started to perform and liven up, and then the second map, they just destroyed them 16-5, it was worrisome that they had such a slow start for me personally.
I actually really like Havu. I'm not going to lie. And I don't...
Hoodie Dodo, Wombo combo.
Is that
I
what it is?
believe, yeah,
Okay,
I
there we
believe
go.
in
All
that
right, yeah,
Finnish
there we
Wombo combo. I actually
recognize any of
do.
I don't know what's
Quickly
going on.
divide yourselves into underdog supporters and favorite supporters so that we can actually get a...
What I like about Havu most is that team, when I looked into them, they've played something like 260 plus maps since September together. So, I mean, just right off the back of that, they're the most experienced lineup of 5 players that we have playing together in Flashpoint. And that obviously doesn't always translate into wins, but that gives them a huge leg up against opponents. And I wasn't at all disappointed by the level of skill they brought out. Because the other problem is they played 260 maps, but they still haven't gotten past DreamHack Opens. And that's an issue usually for a team that's played that many maps.
All right, so 2 questions. We had this conversation before. Is Havu the best Finnish team over Ents? Number 1.
How can you say yes because they won one game? Like, listen, Ents is pretty bad. I won't
fight
lie.
amongst each other.
It's not like we're going, there's not like there's a big...
How are you getting this upset over ranking
I'm not that mad.
58th in the world and team 57th in the world?
Listen, if I wanted someone to inaccurately and disingenuously rank teams, I'd get ESL in here.
We walked right into that, didn't we?
I wasn't even
Right
set up,
into it.
actually,
All right. So the second question is, who are the players to watch on Havu? Who are you impressed by? They had one LAN performance where they actually took the victory. Who should we watch?
Everyone's scrambling to
Hoodie,
remember who's on
Dodo.
Havu right now.
Hoodie and Dodo.
Do you even know who's on Havu?
It's Hoodie and Dodo. Listen, Saw is their
Why?
in-game
It's
leader.
the Wombo
combo.
It's just,
Sorry.
it's honestly the Wombo combo. These two, I saw them in 2 DreamHack Opens last year, and in both of them, they have this synergy, this Finnish synergy that I can't explain because
You missed the Finergy pun, but okay.
the
continue.
Finergy, yeah. I need to learn. I'm writing that one down in my notebook. But yeah, they actually look really good. And as Jason mentioned, they've been a squad for so long that they've got a lot of fundamentals that allow them to explode when the opportunity comes. And they are an underdog. I can't lie. The other three kind of slowly are trailing behind them. But hey, they've got upset potential.
They're also not that big an underdog as well. Like, the big problem here is you have to remember the Contact squad is using a stand-in, has had to change players over time, and the entire premise of that team, as far as I can tell, was just pick up FPL stars and let them go ham. So the downside of that type of team is if a couple of players don't perform, there's nothing there. There's no basis to be a good squad.
But you guys have all changed. When you came in from the Flashpoint teams, a lot of you were saying, oh, the more disciplined, refined style of leadership in Counter-Strike. And now everybody's like, yep, whoever has the best fraggers is going to win.
I still personally actually think by the end of Flashpoint 1 that the best team will be Mad Lions.
In
I think by the end, though, they've got to have
Now, in our defense as well, there's about 5 teams that started Flashpoint with a different roster than they have a week later.
That's a good point.
Very good point.
Highlight that one in the broadcast.
Biggest joke, yeah. No.
No, I mean, it is something to highlight. Like, we're in a very strange situation in terms of the coronavirus. We've had unfortunate. We're not on LAN anymore, obviously. Some people have had to move either their location or drop out of the tournament in Smoothia's case. So these are all relevant. It's happening all over the world in esports right now. It's unavoidable.
I mean, I think there is something to it, especially the online situation, right? With someone like Esperanto, maybe Ships. Like, I could see those guys feeling pretty comfortable playing online games. Probably done it way more than some of the other, teams that maybe do attend more LANs and the DreamHack Open type circuit. So I could actually see that working out pretty well for them. Might just be feeling real confident, and yeah, the ragging power just even between those two is going to be hard to deal with, I think.
So
I'm still on Havu's side, by the way.
Okay, so everybody is at least like mildly lukewarm on Havu at the very least. Are they the dark horse of this tournament? Is this the unknown team that you expect to go the furthest? Or we also had Team Chaos, obviously, earlier today, advancing to the finals. Who is the out of the underrated qualifier teams the biggest threat?
I guess Havu would be that, but the thing is Mad Lions is waiting for them in the lower bracket. So when they lose the contact and they have to play Mad Lions gonna body them the second time around.
But Mad Lions can't be the dark horse, right?
No, but he was just saying that they're probably going to go out in third place.
Havu has a tough road, yeah.
That's true.
In theory, it's Chaos, right? Based on what we saw today.
Yeah, it would have to be Chaos.
All right. I mean, I will say the recency bias with you guys is kind of
very
crazy.
powerful. It's very powerful.
Look, I think we have to keep in mind that this is a marathon.
2 games.
6 weeks.
You have to realize we're used to watching an event every weekend. It's always a recency bias in this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair, and especially because the situation has changed so drastically with different players on these teams, with who performs better online versus who has LAN jitters. So yes, I understand that it's problematic, and you guys do have only very recent results to go on, especially since we changed things up. But that said,
yeah, I'm not that lukewarm on Havu anyway. I would pick him straight as the dark. I think I'll still pick Havu over Chaos at the moment.
Wait a minute. If you're going to pick them now, and also I don't know why you're picking them as over that, just go ahead and be bold. Just say like they're going to come top 4 in the whole season. Well, shouldn't even say season, whatever.
Don't get baited into that. Don't listen to him.
Flashpoint 1. Havu's going to come top 4. You like to do stupid things that never happen, so go on.
That is my thing, I think.
It sucks getting called out, doesn't it?
Top 4. I don't know. Oh, that's going to be...
Hey, don't believe in him now, D-bitch.
Yeah, I can't do it now.
There's only 16 teams. There's only 12 teams in the whole
team now. All right. Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Top 4. I've been baited into it. Jason, thanks.
I know. That's so ridiculous. By the way, what are the stakes here? Let's actually put some...
No. I didn't declare any stakes. I knew that was coming. That's why I bought right then and there.
How about a steak dinner? Literal steaks.
I'll grill the steaks. Yeah, I'll do it. We can do that.
I'd like someone else to prepare my steak.
Anders can't win.
I don't know why I'm getting involved in this bet either. This is
Good luck finding steaks right now.
Actually, I was very easily able to find steaks. It's everything else that was out. So yeah, from my perspective, going to the grocery store picking up some fresh steaks is actually quite simple. But anyway, we're gonna do some drunk tweets right now. Most of you guys didn't do #Flashpoint drunk tweets. Disappointingly,
I wasn't drunk.
I was not drunk yet.
When I get drunk,
I don't think he quite understood the segment, did he?
So Jason, it's actually just a joke. So you don't actually have to be drunk.
Well, that's just lying.
Well.
It's okay. That's what we do in esports.
Real joke is this isn't the CSGO talent group I'd want to see drunk tweets from. The game for yourself at home. Who would you like to see a drunk tweet from?
Use the hashtag.
All right. Let's see some Flashpoint drunk tweets. This is mine. I'm happy to announce that I'll be hosting the analysis desk of EPLNA. Since it's online and it's not, we don't have exclusivity here. Therefore, I will be hosting that as well. I still have a good relationship, I hope, with ESL. The rest of you guys burned that bridge.
Whoa.
Except for you and you. So just Thorin.
He got to him, didn't he?
Usually I'm the one who not only burns the bridge, but nukes it from outer space. But I haven't done that yet. So there you go.
Well, you're working in a game now with Duncan, so he sets the bar very high. Everyone else just gets to fly on.
No. Trust me. Most of the time, I've been worked with Thorin in countless games now, and usually I get the fallout of people saying, why do you work with him? And they somehow think that I share the same opinion. So I'm used to it, trust me.
Perfect.
Plus, usually in those other games, there's some like one big team that keeps winning that's all evil, and they've got someone who's just an arsehole fucking everything up. And I told Monty, don't worry, that'll never happen in CS.
Perfectly avoidable. All right, so here's Thorin's tweet from yesterday. He was a good team player, even did it yesterday. Space Soldiers would win the major if it was played right now. Tell us about Space
This is
Soldiers.
both a joke, but also a serious point, which is if people don't know, one of the examples that we always used to give on the analysis team to show the difference between online and offline play, it was the team Space Soldiers that Xantares from Big and
Fair
Alex
play.
used to play for, because the joke was they would qualify to so many tournaments or make it so deep in online qualifiers. They even made it to ESL Pro League finals before. But when they got to the offline portion, they would be like a 10th as good as a team. So the joke is that if you go now to this day and look, Xantares has some of the best online stats ever in the history of CSGO. So if this really was a world where there's no pressure, it's all just online matches, they actually would have been one of the best teams ever.
It's actually true. It's actually true.
Really, you're gonna buy into that bullshit?
Online
They were
heroes.
insane.
Yeah, they were good. Best
like-
team ever.
Paz. No.
I think
Yeah,
Jason
well,
still
that's
doesn't get the premise
win the
of this,
majors, all that
of this bit.
Listening to what this man rambles on about.
You have to understand, Cloud9
Yeah,
won a
why,
major.
though?
You don't have to be the best to win majors. You can fluke it. You can just get lucky.
I think
Right,
I
for
think we
2
actually
years.
have to get Moses literally drunk before he actually understands what the point of this is, because trying to put himself into the drunk state.
I understand the point of this. I'm just saying.
Do you?
Yeah, because when Duncan says the Space Soldiers would have been one of the best teams of all times, that's even drunk. I cannot abide by that. We need to put our foot down somewhere.
Some of it was a joke. Saying.
Wow, this is what happens when everybody's
snort.
stuck inside all day. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up here at the blind spot.
Please, yeah.
Yes. You know, normally we play the closing time, like you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can't stay here, and also you must go home is the new LA ordinance, so we don't even have that luxury. We'll see you tomorrow for more matches, and catch you then.